and I guess kind of a companion bill, which was last month. There was a couple of gay gentlemen there that we were talking about 5039, which makes it so that municipalities cannot pass any laws that would protect their gay and lesbian, transgendered citizens. And you said that the ACLU agreed with you in that they thought it should be a statewide addressed at the state level instead of being addressed at the municipal level. I spoke to the spokesperson for the ACLU. They said that no, they agree that it should be addressed at the state level, but that they're in lieu of that, absent that they're perfectly fine with municipalities passing these local ordinances that protect their GLBT, I always get the numbers in the wrong order, GLBT citizens. So I'm wondering why you said that the ACLU agreed with you when they don't.
Well, I just said that they called for it to be a statewide law to impose it on the rest of the municipalities. I agree the debate should be at the state level. They called on the legislature to deal with it at the state level, and I was merely saying that, you know, I agree with them that it should be done.
But you don't want to allow municipalities to be able to address it at all. They're saying they want the protections included within the L.A. Larson Act, which apparently you don't want.
Well, they don't want it to be addressed by municipalities if they have their way, and it's addressed at the state level.
They do want it. They said they specifically do want municipalities to be able to pass local ordinances that protect the GLBT community.
No, and I told you that I have concerns about the discriminatory nature of those ordinances, and
but I thought you were for local control.
well, you know, there are certain things that the state.
So there's some things you're for local control, some things you're not.
Well, the subdivisions of the state have to abide by rules that the state says. I've got a bill that's got transparency and would require municipalities to be more transparent with their spending. And I'm accused, you know, I may be accused of saying that that's not local control, but it's something that it's taxpayers, you know, in that instance.
But several cities already have these ordinances, and your bill, I think, if I understand it right, would say they would have to, I guess, repeal the protections for the community that it's meant to protect. And without any state law replacing it, apparently.
Yeah, I told you, and we went over this last month, you've got it on video, that I'm concerned about the discriminatory nature of those ordinances. And
what's the discriminatory nature?
Feels that there's a protected class. It should be, you know, the state has Elliott Larson civil rights protected classes, and that's the place to amend.
Well, are you proposing that the GLBT community be added to the Elliott Larson Act?
I'm saying the debate should be at the state level.
So that's a no?
Well, I mean, that, you know, there's certainly the discriminatory nature of that and the way it's played out, where you know, because of that kind of law, the Catholic Social Services in Massachusetts no longer does adoptions because of an ordinance like that. It was forced to not be able to do ordinances. There's a photographer who didn't want to photograph a homosexual wedding, and he was fined $8,000.
Well, there was a time in this country, Tom, where black people weren't allowed to be married. Are you saying we shouldn't protect black people because that's discriminatory somehow?
No, and so this is a debate at the state level, and that's what my bill would do.
So you're going to add, you're going to also propose that they protect the GLBT community in the Elliott Larson Act?
That's where the debate should be, is whether or not it should be added.
So are you in favor of protecting that class or not?
You know, I see that these ordinances are discriminatory against Christians and, you know, daycare providers and things like that, so I feel that it's quite discriminatory.
Against who?
Against
Christians?
Yeah,
really?
Against Christians and Catholics and others.
How's that? How are they being discriminated against? By protecting gay and lesbian people?
A guy who doesn't want to photograph a homosexual wedding is fined $8,000 because he said no. I mean, you know, these are...
We're talking about, mostly it was requiring hiring practices. So you're saying, basically what you're saying is that a community should not have to, should be able to discriminate against gay, lesbian, transsexual people because of their sexuality. You don't want to protect them.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
Well, I'm asking him. I just want to get his answer.
A lot of problems. Could I interrupt for a minute?
Sure.
Okay. I'm a Roman Catholic. Okay. And I find a lot of what goes on in society, okay, is being objectionable. Okay. but I operate a business in the public, okay? Anybody who walks through the door is served by that business, all right? But I don't want to ever find myself in a problem because somebody perceives, okay, that I or any of my employees or whatever have done anything in way of discriminating against them for whatever reason, okay? That's my fear. And what happened to the photographer who refused, advertises his services to the public, okay, is presented with something that he finds morally objectionable, does not wish to do it, and somehow gets dragged in and fined. I find that really, really
But I think this bill is addressing specifically hiring practices, I believe. So it would say to the city of the township of Oakland that you're not, because if they were to pass a bill here, if a gay person applied for a job here without the ordinances, without them being a protected class at the state level, the city or the township could refuse to hire a person because they were gay, or they even thought they were gay. Okay. But so if Oakland passed a local ordinance that said we're going to protect our gay and lesbian citizens, then that would be a problem for the city or the township if they decided not to hire that person.
But if there's a state law that
there isn't, though. There isn't. That's the problem.
If there is, where it's handled at the state
But
level,
but what he's saying is he doesn't think it should be there shouldn't be a law like that because he's saying it discriminates against Christians, whereas I'm saying
It can.
huh?
It can.
That's right. Well, it could, but what we're saying is,
We don't need a local ordinance.
well, that's your opinion.
Yes.
So you're saying it's okay.
You're obviously speaking from a biased point.
It's okay to discriminate against gay and lesbian people, in your opinion.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what I heard you
I don't
saying.
think they should have favored treatment.
Well, I'm not saying they should have favored treatment either. I'm saying they should have equal treatment. That's what I'm saying.
No, they should just be treated like everybody else.
I agree, but they're being discriminated against, and that's why we have laws.
I think that needs to be proven.
I think it can be proven. I think it absolutely can be
Then
proven.
show it in court. Don't bother us here with that.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Thank you.
Hi.